While in the Army for 35 years, Eddie traveled the world, meeting so many interesting people and experiencing different cultures, but only where the military told him to go. Fortunately, during our 25 years of marriage, a few of his assignments gave us the opportunity to visit some pretty amazing places too. So come join us on this adventure of a lifetime as the La Rosas jump around the world. Here's an update on the suitcase. You think it's gonna make it through another...
Oh, don't pull it.
The wheel's like falling off. I want to see how you're gonna pull it.
I go on these two.
You're fancy.
On these two.
Oh.
I'm not paying for more luggage.
We made it to Porto, Portugal. Check out our apartment. Reserved it on booking.com. We have an awesome view of the river. Then in the kitchen, we got a basically full kitchen. Nice big shower with a full door so no water gets anywhere. And then our bedroom. We're gonna wake up to this view. Oh my gosh. This is so pretty.
Good morning. This is our first full day in Porto, Portugal.
And we're taking a vintage Model T Ford tour, and it's going to take us all around to see all the sites to give us just kind of a bird's eye view of what we want to walk around to later.
Our first stop was to the Carmelitas and Carmo churches, which appear to look like one big church. However, the two churches are actually connected by one of the world's narrowest houses, which is only 1 meter wide. This house was built to make sure there was no contact between the nuns in the Carmelitas church on the left and the monks in the Carmo church on the right. Our next stop was a scenic spot with a great view of Porto and its terracotta-colored rooftops. I especially loved the sign that was posted nearby. Next to the lookout is the Church of Our Lady of Victory, which was built on the site of an old Jewish temple. It was the very first church built in the medieval district of Porto. As we continued our tour, Eddie found himself helping a taxi driver who couldn't get traction on the slick cobblestone road. I'm not really sure Eddie taking off his flip-flops and being barefoot really helped his traction much. We continued to drive down the busy streets of Porto until we reached the Porto Cathedral, which is a fortress-like church and the largest church in the city. We were also fortunate enough to enjoy the music of a local singer. Our last stop on the vintage Ford tour was at a former monastery dating back to the 1500s. And yet again, we had another great view of Porto. After our tour, we decided to stay on the south side of the river to explore.
One of the great things about Europe is that you can drink out in the public, which is kind of awesome. There's a big festival going on here today, so cheers to Portugal.
As we continued to stroll, we saw this intriguing yellow building, so I peeked in and saw this massive book wall that looked super cool. On the second level, they had a live organist playing. There was also a demonstration on how to make the cod cakes.
I saw that they have this and port wine, so we decided to check it out. It's a codfish cake with Serra del Estrella cheese, and this is their port wine. I haven't eaten today, so it's probably always good to start with alcohol. Ports are very, very sweet. At least this one doesn't taste like cough syrup. It's actually really good. Now I'm gonna try this cheesy goodness. Yum. Cheese and fish. It's very good.
That was so good. Well, even before the cheese, it's just mouthful of yummy. It's good.
If you like sardines, this is the place to go. The fantastic world of Portuguese sardines has every flavor of sardines you can think of. And the colorful sardine tins make them the perfect gift. And of course, Eddie had to buy one to try it out. Our next stop was to the Kopke Wine House, the oldest port wine house founded in 1638. And of course, I felt compelled to bring Old Bottle home with us as well. Before crossing over the bridge to get back to our Airbnb, we waited to see if this guy was actually going to jump into the river. And he finally did.
All right, we're back from wandering around the city, and we're having a late lunch. Instead of going out to one of the cafes, which we really want to do because the food looked and smelled awesome out there, we thought we'd just go to the grocery store today, and we're going to try also my sardines. I couldn't help it, but I bought some sardines. The store that we mentioned earlier had, I swear, 50 different kind of sardines. So we bought this can.
And different kinds of covers, like different scenes and stuff.
Yeah, so pretty cool. We're gonna try it. And in order to keep this as a souvenir, which I don't know if we're going to, but they said to open it up from the back using a knife. So that is exactly what we'll do. Hopefully I won't get like metal shard in my fish. All right, finally got the can off. And I know Tracy's going, holy cow, no, I'm not gonna have that, but we're gonna give it a shot.
This one is roasted codfish with garlic and olive oil.
I like any kind of food, so I'm sure this is gonna be fine.
Well, and the guy at the store said, put it on bread with a little bit of parsley, but the store we were at didn't have parsley, so.
I'm gonna take a healthy bite. That's good. I think the oil makes it.
Does it taste really fishy?
Soaks into the, not bad. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
Just the bread will soak in on the oil. It's good. And plus, what is this, like onions in here?
I think garlic and onions, yes.
I see the garlic. Anyway, kind of cool.
So I'm gonna start my lunch with dessert first. We got pastel de nata, which is a Portuguese dessert that they're super popular around here. So we just grabbed one at the little market, but I'm sure we'll try more along the way at specialty bakeries. It's like custard on the inside. So good.
Okay, since I know Tracy doesn't like fish, I'm gonna have her try some of these sardines. I don't think it'll be that bad.
It just smells like tuna. It doesn't smell too bad. I like fish. I don't like stuff that's like super fishy or chewy, so. The oil's really good.
That's what I thought.
Actually, it is really good. It doesn't really taste fishy. It's salty. I mean, it tastes a little fishy, but not like gag me fishy. I can do it. It's pretty good. We just realized that we are here during Festival of St. John, and if you can see, these are all fireworks that are going to go off tonight, and we have like the absolutely perfect vantage point, and there's like some huge concert. I think it's played up there because there's a stage up there. We drove up there earlier today, but how lucky.
You can hear that throughout the entire area, so this is gonna be crazy tonight.
It's gonna be cool. There's just like all down the streets on both sides of the river. There's vendors and tents and drinks. Like you can get a glass of French sangria for $3, €3. And people are just having a great time in the streets. And there's lots of hammers.
Yeah.
There's these squeaky hammers, and apparently you hit people with it. It's like a kid's toy, and they hit you back. I don't know, some tradition.
Now that the Fado show is done, let the festival begin. We were so glad to have a view from our balcony for the fireworks and to avoid this chaotic crowd below.
Good morning, everyone. It's day 2. We survived last night's festival. This whole town is like trashed.
Garbage. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for the people that have to clean it all up. But we are up early trying to beat the heat a little bit, and we're gonna go just walk around and see some of the sites that we saw yesterday on the Model T tour, and take some pictures and get some pastel de nata first stop and coffee. Our first stop was to Fábrica de Nata. I had read that this was the best place to get the Portuguese treat called pastéis de nata. It's an egg custard tart pastry. It had a really flaky crust with some burnt sugar on top. It was simply amazing. The crust was light and the custard was still warm inside. It was seriously a mouthful of heaven. Over the course of our stay in Portugal, we ate ourselves sick with them. This morning, we are in search of Porto's famous blue and white tile buildings. In the 17th century, the Dutch attempted to replicate tiles similar to Chinese porcelain in order to decorate Portuguese buildings as a symbol of wealth and power. We finished our walk to a few other notable buildings.
tour, our tour guide told us about these sandwiches called Francesina. We showed up here right when the doors opened. By the time they opened the doors at 12 o'clock, there probably was 20 people in line.
So in addition to the sandwich we're going to get, we decided to get like a blooming onion. The reason we wanted to bring this up, this is black garlic
And mayo.
Which, I don't know, it tastes good.
It's good though.
It's good. The whole reason we came to this restaurant is for this sandwich right here.
It is white bread with ham, sausage, steak, and cheese, and then put into the oven with an egg on top and a spicy sauce.
A lot of cheese. Might have to do this in 2 bites. Second bite. There's a whole lot of meat in there. But of course what's good is the cheese. Especially good is cheese, and the sauce, it does have that kind of kick to it. So I thought it was going to be kind of like an enchilada sauce, but it's not.
It's a big bite. You know what I think the sauce tastes like? It tastes like SpaghettiOs with a kick. Not as tomatoey, but it still has that same kind of flavor, but it's very good.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
It is a lot of meat. It's very good and different. Never had anything like it before, so. We are done with our lunch, and my feedback is definitely try it, but it's not something that I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. I need to have it again.
Yeah, same thing. Everybody's been talking about the sandwich, but it wasn't.
You gotta do it.
Yeah.
You gotta do it.
Next up on our agenda was a walking wine tour. The first stop is exactly what we were looking for: the perfect ambiance and great wine. After the first stop, it all went downhill. Or should I say uphill? Almost the entire tour was uphill in 90-degree weather, with our final destination being at the top of that hill. The 2 remaining stops were far from what we were expecting. All in all, they should have named the tour a half marathon with a tiny bit of wine. Now this is more like it. I guess the highlight of our wine tour was seeing the sculpture called Half Rabbit. The massive rabbit is made from recycled materials and trash collected from the city and brought to life by Portuguese artist Fado II.
Good morning, everyone. We are out at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Tracy got up earlier than that to get ready, but we decided to get out early so we can get some good lighting for a quick little
Hopefully no people in
photo montage like we did in other places. So
We're gonna start here. We got our photo shoot done. I think we got some good pictures.
I think so.
Yeah. What we also realized is that the clubs close at 6 a.m. here because when we were at this church taking pictures, there was a bunch of taxis, and then like right at 6, all the crowds started coming out. So if you want to come to Portugal and party, know that you can stay out until 6 a.m.
A visit to Porto would not be complete without visiting the bookstore that is said to have inspired Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling's idea for Hogwarts Library.
We just got done at the library, and we had the first slot of the day, 9 o'clock, but when we got there at probably 10 till 9, I think, there were probably already 50 people in line for the 9 o'clock time slot with tickets. So, and then people were already lining up for the 9:30. They have really good markers to show you where to stand, but just know that you need a ticket to get in. And if you want to get in first, I would get there probably 20 to 30 minutes before your time is slot, because the library is big enough that you can kind of spread out, but I mean, everyone's trying to get pictures on the stairs and on the balcony, and so it gets really crowded. So but it's really pretty in there and impressive with the spiral staircase, so it is worth a trip.
I'm sure they make way more money by charging people to go in there than selling books.
Yeah, €5 per person, and we figured.
So they probably rack up at least $1,000 per hour. I don't think anybody's buying $1,000 worth of books.
I'm not sure anybody's buying books. Everybody's going in there for the pictures.
Yeah. Today was a quasi-free day, but we decided to free up our schedule a little bit to go to the beach.
Yay!
Tracy's been wanting to go to the beach in Portugal. What she wants, she gets.
Right. We made it to the beach, and as you can see, it is just a little bit windy.
Portugal beaches are pretty much what I thought they would be.
Nice and sandy, white sand, nice and fine.
But with nice, fine sand comes this. It is blowing all over the place.
You can see it in the distance.
There's like a haze.
People are hiding behind their umbrellas, so I think we'll stay on the wet sand and maybe go grab a bite to eat. Okay, so let me tell you a funny story. We left the beach. Well, we wanted to leave the beach, and we knew which bus we had to get on, number 500. So we were standing at that stop. Supposed to come, I think, at like 3:54. So we're waiting.
And waiting.
And waiting. Lots of buses came through, but not 500. But there were other people waiting too, because we could tell they weren't getting on the other buses. And we waited till probably 4:30, so probably 3 bus number 500 should have come by then. So we looked up one of the other buses, and it could get us in the vicinity of where we needed to be, but we would have to walk much further than our original stop. So we got on that bus. And then
I have to sneeze. Okay. Action.
And then
I forget where we were.
we got on that bus.
Oh.
And then
we decided to go one more stop beyond where we thought we maybe should have gotten off, and then the bus just started going uphill.
And our place is at the bottom of the hill. And so when we finally got off, we had to walk, what, maybe 15 minutes?
Yeah. But at least
thankfully it's all downhill. Yeah, but anyway.
It was like Groundhog Day. We saw the same things. Like
the same church, the same tower we've seen so many times, but it's always an adventure. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to follow all of our adventures.